10 seconds remaining. Dire team back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more of the Nanyang Championships, or as Merlene likes to call it, the NYC Championships here. And we are in the North American Qualifier.
That'd be Nanyang Championships.
The NY Championships.
Nanyang
Championships.
Or NYC.
Not NYC Championships.
NYCs?
Nanyang. Shut up. We're at the NA Qualifier. It is game number 3 of our first series here. Digital Chaos going against Root Gaming. And already a bit surprised. A lot of people anticipating Digital Chaos are going to be the big boys on the block for this qualifier run. But Root Gaming putting on quite the performance so far. So let's head into our next draft. We don't want to stall things out too much longer, Merlini, but look at how things have started again. Pretty similar to before. Root Gaming, again, acknowledged the Naga, so they do rid of that. They also ban out the Tusk themselves this time. And Digital Chaos don't want to risk handing over anything too precious for the first pick of Root, so they rid of the Lesh, no surprise. And they themselves now get rid of the Bounty Hunter. So Lina, maybe, would be a smart pickup here for Root if they
we've
don't want to
seen
hand
that
over
it
again.
isn't their style, though. They passed it up first and second game.
Oh,
so if they, I would be very surprised if they turned to it number 3. I think the offlaner was a big deal for Digital Chaos. Boba didn't really offer that much in the game because he died at level 1, which is really bad, and then he's an Undying too. So you're supposed to be good early. Instead, he was semi-useful in some Roshan fights, and that's about it.
Was he ever slated to do good though? I thought when they got the Undying, it was like, oh, this might possibly be a dual aggro lane, or maybe even a try if they want to go super
wasn't
crazy.
Slated to do well, but that's the point. Like, that hero was weak in their lineup. They either had to pressure a lot with him and take towers very early, or aggro try with the Undying. Otherwise, it's not a useful pick.
I just feel like they picked it up pretty late, so it's like I might have even been after the silencer. So you pick it up and you see there's a Wyvern, there's a silencer. They're gonna beat the hell out of me in my off lane. I'm not gonna do anything.
I personally think it was because the Luna was a really good pick rather than the Undying being a weak pick. But they had to recognize that.
There's few heroes that could somewhat hold their own. I'm surprised that these teams also been passing over like Queen of Pain a lot. Sometimes she could be dependent. In the mid lane, I agree, but what about an off lane Queen of Pain, just to kind of be able to hold your own? But maybe Bulba doesn't play.
You also won't get items versus Silencer. Silencer will own you.
That's true.
So I mean, it's just a difficult life.
But difficult life.
It's a difficult life for the offlaner. 3v1 situation versus 3 range with Lunar Blessing.
Oh yeah. It's terrible. He had a good ward to help him out, so there was going to be no pull. It could have been a lot worse. Imagine it. But
the Clockwork was a big deal. I like the Clockwork pickup from Digital Chaos. You need a strong offlaner for Boba that won't die and that can do stuff in team fights all game. Schwant missed so many hook shots, but he still did a lot of work. He had an ag so he could miss more hook shots and hit some more hook shots, but it's consistent. You can always get XP in the offlane by cog blocking your creeps. You can always hook shot to initiate. Generally, if you have a really bad time, you can't even come up close. But Clockwork has 1,000 range plus 1,000 plus range. So he's always going to be a relevant offlaner. So I like it. It's also one of Bulba's best heroes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you can't say Bulba without bringing up Clockwork at some point when you talk about this guy. But yeah, on top of all that, also you got the Rocket, your great map presence. They are fortunate enough to be on the dire side this time, so I guess if it comes to a situation where they need to counter a Roche, they got one of the best options there in Clockwork, which we saw used many a time in the last game, even for Root. So they see this now, and they're thinking about what their next priority pickup will be. A Shadow Fiend is going to be the choice here. So a Radiant side Shadow Fiend to be going toe-to-toe against the Lina here. Wyvern could be the one to kind of float around the mid lane and help out the Shadow Fiend just in case, and we'll have to see how much pressure maybe Digital Chaos want to put on the Shadow Fiend. Some teams will pull out something like a Spirit Breaker just so they can add that extra bit of aggression and try to keep the Shadow Fiend in check.
Hard versus WW, man.
But yeah, very rough against the Winter Wyvern there. A quick cold embrace will shadow his dreams. But
Gyro hasn't been banned or picked.
Completely ignored up to this point. Could be a good option still for Digital Chaos, so they might not ban it here and just decide to let it slide in hopes that maybe
I feel like Root could have just taken it right there. That hero is so good. They could have taken Rubik plus Gyro and then just owned the Clockwork. And then you have a Winter Wyvern can do whatever he wants because that lane is strong enough to handle him by himself. So I'm actually very surprised that they didn't take that route, especially because TC likes Gyro, as well as Biru apparently really like Rubik because he's played it 2 out of 2 games. So that's something that's really surprising to me. Or
Boba likes to put him on it, one of the two. But
yeah, I'm sure he has some input. If you're a broke ass position 5, you don't want Rubik because he can't like he needs items as well as he can't really farm stacks that well. So I don't know. I guess he didn't do as much in the Omni Knight game as I would hope for, or last game.
Ban out on the AM, ban out now of the PL on the side of Root here. Can't help but get that small inkling with the ban on AM that maybe they're toying with the idea of pulling out the Storm Spirit again. They can run it as a safe lane. Same goes with Shadow Fiend if they want to kind of flip it up a bit. But again, it's AM. He's just picked up in every game as the late game reliable fallback on, unless you have a great counter for it, which they kind of do.
They need a way to kill Winter Wyvern. Like, Winter Wyvern has proven to be a big problem. Like, generally it's Cold Embrace, but this time it's actually Winter's Curse. So, like, a way to kill him is Storm Spirit, which is pretty good. They have... Actually, Storm Spirit's not that great, but like a Silencer I think is really good. Bounty Hunter to scout him out was supposed to be pretty good last game, but it didn't work out for them. And Digital Chaos, they get their picks. They get Lina, they get Gyro, they get Clock. That is...
Some teams at TI, one particular team, was talking about how for their answer to Winter Wyvern was just looking for ways to take advantage of the casual Cold Embrace, even like thoughts of bringing up like a Marana, just because it lands an easy arrow. A Pudge lands an easy hook. I don't know if it's like this ended up take advantage of that sense, but the real bread and butter...
way too hectic.
Yeah, the real bread and butter of the Winter Wyvern, though, is getting off that huge Winter's Curse. And yeah, when shit hits the fan, he's going to be hard to get a hold of here. I keep hitting this freaking speaker, man. It's scaring the hell out of me.
You can even like trade it for a BKB. That's like one of the best parts about the spell. They BKB, you Winter's Curse.
Yep.
Like you can either run away or you can focus the hero down. Like the spell is just incredibly versatile.
They pick up an Earthshaker here. It's an Earthshaker into a Clockwork. Typically, they are rivals to each other. Earthshaker likes to be in a safe spot. And
it's a consistent offlaner that can also... He's the only other offlaner I think that can keep the creep wave at his tower without the help of anyone else, which I think is really important.
Tusk, but he's been banned.
Can you do it with Tusk?
Yeah, you can Ice Shard block. Okay. On Radiant side, too.
Well, I guess there's three. Well, Tusk is banned, but Clockwork and Earthshaker, I think, I view as a very consistent ones because they'll always have team fight relevance. Tusk, kind of, but not as much as Clockwork and Earthshaker.
It's just funny how the off-lane trend just continues to change just like that. Back in the day, it was being able to hold your own and maybe being able to jungle farm with your like Bat Rider and stuff. Just get what you can in the lane, you fall back to the jungle and pull out from there. But yeah, now in age, it's about being able to utilize and take advantage of the creep push, keep it near your tower, build up lots of farm, and be a big team fight presence. And Earthshaker, Clockwork, Tusks, these kind of do it the best.
Now I kind of think it's just they really like Rubik. Or Biru really likes Rubik as opposed to... like it actually being like fantastic in the situation. I mean, Rubik's always like good, I would say, but not like I pick it every single game good. He's pretty good versus Earthshaker. I'm still surprised Root didn't take it versus Clockwork, and seeing how Digital Chaos likes it, you want to like, oh, ooh,
sorry, I gotta get a Lifestealer.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right, let's let's flip this one apart here, Merlin.
Lifestealer is really poor this patch for a lot of reasons. Firstly, there's BKB piercing ultimates like Lina and Queen of Pain. Secondly, like a lot of the heroes are just really good versus Winter Wyvern too. Like Winter Wyvern Cold Embrace just like straight owns him. He was really bad the last patch because he couldn't man fight anyone. Like Juggernaut and Troll just
very
owned
easy.
Him. Yeah,
I mean it's gonna be even rough against the Clockwork. You know, with the cogs.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how he's gonna really get in there. And where is his vehicle right now? Typically with a Lifestealer, you want to have a +1, someone who can get him into the fight. You can't rely on your ultimate and its new ability to take over a creep and just kind of, I'm a centaur, I'm coming in. Don't stop me. You need some way to get from point A to point B, and B being the battle.
Lifestealer?
So, what can they get to round this out?
Even Call Down like owns him too.
A support that can jump.
I mean, it can also be like offlane puck or something like that. You never know.
Yeah. Could keep the Earthshaker as a support with Wyvern and get like that puck. Interesting, man.
Yeah, it is very strange to pick him without like without someone who can get him in there.
And we'll see maybe they have something up their sleeve. That is, you don't pull out this pick and just be like, okay, it's game 3.
Especially not 4th.
We'll pull out a life. It's not double elimination either. You know, whatever team loses this series is just out of the running for the Nanyang qualifier for NA. So to pull a Lifestealer out here and now, you better have something in mind.
Does Waga like Lifestealer? It doesn't seem like his type of hero. But he's been playing the safe lane carry for both of these
Maybe
games.
it's the Monkeys hero. He's like, this is my time. And Waga could take over the Shadow Fiend.
I mean, Lifestealer Phoenix? Icarus Dive is the vehicle. There's the answer. Can he stay in the egg? Like, if he egg, do you stay with him? I don't think so. It wouldn't be possible.
I don't every even seen a Lifesteal and Phoenix in the game together. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we're going to get many answers, I'm sure. We didn't talk about it much, but Skywrath was the last pick for Digital Chaos, something that now we did frequently utilize at TI. Great at zoning in the lane. And this is a Phoenix pick into a Skywrath mage, too.
That's fine.
You sure that's fine?
Yeah, the global Silencer is way worse than Skywrath.
Oh,
like,
I mean, I agree.
Phoenix is single target. Skywrath is single target. Like, he generally has to stay in the back or...
But it's going to be an off-lane Phoenix. Schwan picks it up right now.
Oh, yeah.
You only need the single.
Oh, it might be bad in lane, but team fights I think is okay. They don't really have that much control for him. If he gets Yules, he can just, do his thing and egg. Skywrath is, like, generally pretty far back, and, like, you can even cover him with a Fissure if you're really scared. So,
it will create quite a lot of chaos. I didn't even mean to do that one. When the egg is going to be dropped, and DC will have to practice on what
they have
focal point.
We forgot about the Winter's Curse. The Winter's Curse Phoenix is really strong too.
Oh yes, lock him in place. Yeah. Easy egg burn.
No. It's like they can't attack the egg. It's like terrible. I actually forgot about that, but still, we're like
kind of similar like Tree. Your Tree Phoenix combos. Lock them in place. Can't really do much to the egg unless they're really ranged. And they eat all that damage and it lands the stun.
So what is the Lifestealer for? What is old Waga Gaming going to do on this ghoulish fellow?
Is this a mid lane Lifestealer for now? He's got a stout 8 tangos, 1 south.
I don't know at all what he's doing.
Right.
I also don't know why Monkeys has a sentry. Like, what is going on here? They don't have any invis heroes, and I mean, if he's in a safe lane, I guess it makes sense because he can deward. But I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is the Lifestealer.
Is he maybe he's soloing bottom, and he's got a sentry to get rid of the offlaner's ward.
Does Lifestealer beat Lina mid? I don't think so.
Maybe the meta is about to unfold in front of us. We'll have to see.
Okay, you are looking like he's about to get blocked in by old Derp.
Yep, the block is way off the mark, nowhere close. Yawar is not hitting that way. Heads up and back and behind, but they do have some slow with the Arctic Burn, but it's not going to be enough to take him down. Oh, look at Monkeys jumping in, gets off one raise, but will not be there. I guess in the end, the rune will be secured.
Derp, you had one job, stun the Lina.
Whoops. I guess he figured Yawar would be heading up the straight top, but that's not the case. So
that should have been easy first blood.
It should have been, would have been, and hey, there's your answer. That's why there's a sentry.
Eat it.
Oh, God damn it. No.
Eat it.
Walk up. He actually uses one of his shared tangos.
Dude, you get mega health from that, man. Look at his health regen, plus 15.5.
Holy smokes.
I know. How he's just wasting his mana right now.
Always just trying to force him to be in an awkward position where he has no regen and will be forced to try to get some.
I mean, he can bottle. He got the rune.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Or, I mean, he can self. But Skywrath has no armor. I don't know if you want to be really doing that.
What's happening down here? Okay, Schwan needs a bit of punishment. He's going to be forced to use his first Icarus dive to make it away from trouble. Got to be careful. You're going against a Rubik who could catch him with that telekinesis before the Icarus dive will go through. So
Beerus taking so much damage. He doesn't have that much regen. You aren't made of tangos, man.
He's holding 2 sentries, but Schwan did not have an obs, so he's working in the dark as an offlaner here. So the sentries will not come of much use.
Okay, Monkey's got a salve, so he's good.
He's good, and he's even got the help of Derp. And now he's going to go top lane instead, it looks like, and try to keep that bird in check.
Yeah.
While bottom, our Lifestealer is going to be joined by Wyvern here in his matchup against Bulba on the Clockwork here. I actually don't think this would be a terrible matchup for Clockwork at the start. Can be zoned a little bit from Jaw once Arctic Burn is up, but outside of that, I don't know if
it's an old matchup.
Stop him.
It's I think pretty tough for Clockwork. He's a strength hero, which means he gets affected by Feast more so than other heroes. On top of that, like, you're too slow to get enough distance in between you and Lifestealer to cog away. So you really need to rely on him not getting in your face, but that's really difficult when Lifestealer has free farm and has boots and you have no boots.
Monkeys misses the raise and is welcomed instead with an LSA Dragon Slave combo, which is going to force the salve out now.
And he doesn't have bottle.
And no bottle. 2-minute rune does come up.
Oh, they do have a
leaves
triple
the DD on bottom. Biru looks like he got the bounty at top. Heads back up there.
Yeah, they already have a triple stack for him, so I'm pretty sure Monkeys is okay. I see a fissure. What did the fissure do? Why did he fissure there? Oh, he fissured the creep block. He blocked the creeps.
Jaw's going to grab up that DD rune on the bottom. We'll have Arctic Burn, and maybe if Bulba just puts himself a bit too far forward in this bottom lane, a good amount of damage and a quick Splinter Blast. could trigger a kill here, but Bulba's going to be in a very safe spot, backing away here, doesn't want to get caught in too much trouble.
He needs to skill open wounds if he wants to do this. There he goes, level 2.
Open wounds is there. Cogs come out, he's still very slow. The Arctic Burn, the first one will not connect, but there's not going to be enough to stop this Clockwork. He will eat a lot of damage, but he does have that salve, so he'll be able to pop that right now, and he's still in good shape. Bulba sports a 9-3 CS. You compare that to Rude Gaming's offlaner Juan, yet to get a CS Merlini, just barely scraping by level 2.
I wonder if Waga could have done a 1-1-1 build and rage before the open wounds so he doesn't get hit by the Cog. I think that would have been a kill. First blood's a big deal, man. Now he's out of mana. He doesn't have a clarity. Like, next time he's going to be able to open wounds is at like 4.5 minutes.
Not going to be easy here. He can bum one off Jaw, I guess, if they're that desperate.
Yeah, but he's going to get hit off by a rocket. He can't really free...
Maybe they force out the rocket. Next level clarity.
You know, the solution...
There it is, the rocket. Quick, clarity him.
The solution is Mango. It's always a solution.
You're right, yeah. Uncles are going to make another go on the Bulba here, who has no mana now for the Cogs, so... he's going to eat a lot of damage. But
man, this lane should be going so much better. Like, if he had an Oob there, they would have killed him. Instead, he went for a quelling.
Look at this. Biru was able to bring Chuan to the high ground with the lift, and now he's going to have to run away, and he can't do it. No Icarus Dive available. He goes down. Excellent play from the young one. Biru is able to get a nice telekinesis, and they get the first blood, taking out Chuan.
The Leecher. Yeah, that was... yeah, things aren't going as well for real. I think they should have had at least 1 kill on Clock and pressured him enough to go back home. And Phoenix, level 2, that's rough times, man.
You could just feel the desperation from Root Gaming on their side. You know, Juan, he's trying to get as close as he can to that ledge just to soak in the XP from the pulled camp because he had no ward at the start. He can't block out the camps, and he's just kind of
How's AUI level 4?
Oh, stun. Monkeys is going to be fine. How is AUI level 4? Well,
I don't know. It's like 5 minutes in. He's level 4.
Has he been the pull person doing a lot of the solo farm with the XP pull? I mean, it's either him or Biru, so the other one gets to be in lane sharing the dual XP.
Dude, it's like he's buying tones of XP, man. I don't know how this happens.
Oh, nice.
Bringing
it back there.
He's so high level.
But the real breadwinner of CS so far is going to be TC. Now 32-10. You are just behind him, so it's a very profitable early laning phase here.
Jack going in for a kill on Boba.
Can he do it? Third time? Nope. No Arctic Burn. Not going to be easy. Again, he goes for the 2 points into Splinter Blast. I mean, obviously in this kind of lane, he doesn't anticipate Waga or himself should be in too much trouble to need the Cold Embrace. But, you know, he's going to try to make the best of it for now. Bulba, though, is easily getting what he needs out of this lane. A lot of attention down here, though, is Derp even coming to intercept. Maybe if they get a big fissure block here, they can finally get their finish. Here we go. Oh, Derp again. Fissure's out, but this time it's going to be caught on the other side. It's just not his game 3 so far.
This bottom lane is just not Root's lane, man. Like... I think generally this matchup is played like Lifestealer harasses the crap out of the Clockwork, and if he's out of mana, he has Magic Stick or a Mango at this point to take over the lane, but like now he just got Phase, and he has no Ooh, or he didn't have Ooh for that kill.
Oh, Yawar and Monkeys Forever go toe-to-toe, and it's Yawar who is the last to stand. Derp nearby, but not quite close enough. And that is also going to secure a rune at the top lane for Yawar. He gets his bottle back. He'll be able to bottle through it and pick up the bounty. Big boost for him. Now 2-0 for Digital Chaos as they assert themselves in the top, the mid, and, well, technically Bulba's not having a hard time in the bottom, so all across the board.
Biru's going to scout out the stack, too. Oh, wait, no, Scout's already taken. Okay. Never mind. I thought it was a big stack. You know, the big problem is that Derp is actually not being able to do that much. He's been blocking... Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, Derp is potentially going to get caught out. It's a 3-on-2 here. Derp is going to eat the first big Laguna coming out from Yawar. He's going to get dropped. They push ahead now 3-0 on their run. Monkeys Forever is going to be stuck in a bit of a pickle here.
The big deal is Shaker's been failing on his accounts. He tried to block top, which I can understand, but at the same time, TC's doing an incredible job of controlling the creep wave. So even though he's devoted a lot of fissures to top, the Phoenix hasn't gotten any experience, and the tower fell, so that's a big loss there. They could have, like, alternatively, like, fissured mid a couple of times and maybe killed Alina, which would have been pretty good, or secured a kill on Clockwork, but none of those 3 things have happened. He devoted his time to the weakest lane, and it's still a very weak lane.
And really, Digital Chaos have yet to show what they're really made of. TC, as we saw in the last game, now reaching level 7. This is when he likes to go out and try to make a fight happen. Owie's about to get his level 6, so Mystic Flare comes online. I'm sure they're going to try to get some picks with that. I feel like that the worst is yet to come here for Root Gaming. As Digital Chaos, it's only going to get more and more scary, and the fallback plan for Root right now is either, Monkeys Forever getting his first big item and trying to make something happen, or this Lifestealer, which has been pretty much a question mark to us since its pick in the draft. So we'll have to see if Waga just knows something we don't on how he can really bring his team back on the back of this Lifestealer.
Hook shot on a derp.
The Bulba with his haste rune trying to make it back in a way, but the Fisher's going to catch him. This one will work out for Root. Bulba getting a bit over anxious.
Waga doesn't even get an assist, with the haste
man.
Rune,
but yeah, Waga not close enough to.
He was right there. Get that assist.
But he's 0-0-0, so they will not be getting it here. But Root will get themselves on the board. Schwan gets a little bit of free time to farm up on his Phoenix finally in this top lane. Still yet to get to level 6.
Yeah, so why Lifestealer? A very common pickup versus a Clockwork safe lane as well as a Gyro. Or sorry, a Clockwork in your safe lane and a Gyro on the opposite team is a Razor. Like Razor's was just picked last game. It was seen pretty commonly at TI, and it does a lot of what Lifestealer does. It like locks down a hero, except he does it way better.
Ooh, Owie getting coaxed into a bad situation here. Tries to make a committed dive onto Schwan, who baits him right into a trap. Owie, though, desperate. He's like, I'm going to get that birdie. Got him.
Wow.
Turns back, gets the Arcane Bolt off, and Schwan goes down, and that is a great trade for Digital Chaos. Much worth.
Yeah, I think he bought before he died, as well as he got the experience. Like, that is just insane. Insane value. Oh, smoke coming out from Biru and TC. About that level 6-7 Gyro smoke timing that you're talking about.
I'm ready with my call down, Mr. DC. They're going to head to bottom lane here.
Oh,
for Waga.
he just used it fast on creeps. That is not good at all.
That's 90 seconds.
Oh, but Monkeys?
Oh, even better. Easy pullback into call down, into Dragon Slave, into certain death. Rinse and repeat from what we saw at the previous TC Gyro game. He gets his level 7, he's ready to make something happen, and then they can follow up with a tier 1 tower.
Ooh, now Biru gets another deep ward to scout out that stack. Shadow Fiend, he got 1 stack, but not much after that.
Very nice. We're gaming back now, though, but they still need to get level 6s on a lot of their heroes here, Merlini. Winter Wyvern technically has more XP than the Phoenix does. Both of them really close to level 6. Derp still sporting just a simple level 4. Waga doing his own thing over here, playing Diablo or something like that, but it's rough stuff. And we just saw Monkeys Forever go down. He's trying to build into a mech, and typically you get your mech, you're ready to get together, and you're ready to, make some fights happen here, but I don't know if that's going to be enough ammunition to withstand the brute force of what Digital Chaos have right now.
Just playing Diablo. He'd have a lot more gold if you were playing Diablo. Oof. Oh, almost got Laguna'd.
Well, we'll have to see here. Waga kind of waiting close. If they can bring a +1 for Bulba, they might be able to even get the jump on the Waga here, but now it's Monkeys Forever who's going to take over the jungle as mid lane continues to get pressured. Nice thing for Winter Wyvern, I suppose, when you're supporting this kind of situation, is the long range from Splinter Blast is very nice, and being able to kind of pull the aggro away from the tower.
Oh, he's looking for solo kill on Monkeys. Bulba, can he do it?
He's thinking about it. He's invis, stalking more. Waiting.
There's no one.
And the battery salt's going to be popped, and so are the cogs here. If this is a solo pick for an offlaner on the mid laner, that is swell. And they follow up with the hook, and that's the kill. Waga does show up, and will not be able to stop Bulba from making it away. So Bulba goes out mid lane, though. We're going to see the egg. It comes out finally, but Jaw is going to eat a huge connection from Yawar. Yawar going to go up into the Yules, tries to make it away, barely alive, sidestepping. Oh, right between the loop, but there's going to be the Spirit that will fly out and finish him off. Turns into a 3-for-1 trade. Still very big there for Digital Chaos. Derp also went down that top lane, it looks like. TC? No, he did not pick up that one. How did Derp go down?
Owie did. Dude, Owie might have his mech before Monkeys. Yeah? That's actually crazy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Action across the board. That Bulba solo pick on a Monkeys Forever. That's back-to-back takedowns on your Shadow Fiend.
Where is Shaker for all this? Like, Shaker has to be there to protect the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend has died 3 times, which, like, in this sort of game is just, the road to Feedville, because he's just going to get focused down with, like, Yules and all this nasty stuff that DC has to throw at him. Well.
He's like, I'm but one man. I can't be everywhere.
And Lifestealer, like, I don't even think the hero is that bad. It's just like they could have killed. Oh,
Derp walks right into a Yules, and that's what Lena does.
You're
right
done
there, folks.
for.
I mean, how many times have we seen that in this patch? Yules, LSA, Laguna, and the deed is done. Derp will be on the sidelines for just 10 seconds. Not too long for him. But Jaw's able to step in, gets off that ward. Yawar might have spotted it here, but he is obviously going to be on the way out after expending his tool belt. And we'll backstep here. Root Gaming just trying to maybe scrap together a tower, their first tower. Get something going on the board for him. Waga has stepped away from that bottom lane, and he's going to join him up here in this push. But this could come at a force of a trade. You got Aoi pushing in on the bottom. You even have Biryu pushing in on the mid lane.
I really don't think the hero's that bad, Lifestealer. I think he's definitely situational, but he's making him look like he's like unplayable with the way the thing has been going. Like Clockwork having his way on bottom lane, and like pretty much not doing that much. You know, I'm generally a pretty big fan of Midas. Unfortunately, this patch, Midas is just extremely weak based off how like fight-oriented this patch is and how quickly map control develops. Like map control, I think has developed more quickly this patch than any other patch, and Midas just does not help in that at all.
If you're looking at heroes like Gyrocopter who are looking to peak and take big fights at level 7, you're lucky to be able to have a fresh Midas at that point, which means if you wanted to counter fight or anything, you don't really have a good item set to help out that much more. So I agree with you. Just the way that these fights seem to peak at timing doesn't work for Midas, but they are going to make their first vehicle jump on the Bulba here.
Got him.
And they get it. It's a lot of hate for Bulba, but
that's cool.
They do show their fun little combo off. Clockwork goes down.
Easy combo.
I mean, it costs him double ultimates and Icarus dive and an egg. Oh, hello! Call down comes out, and TC's like, I'm ready to play now. Jumps in, Rocket Barrage, not going to be very effective, mitigated through the creeps, but Waga stuck in a corner now, trying to lifesteal his way back, and Deshwan trying to help zone the rest away, but that's not going to be happening. Waga will end up going down. Derp flirting with the idea of just kind of getting a connection from the north, but mind you, he's still level 5, not 6. There's not going to be any sort of sneaky echo play. In fact, they're on pursuit
Where's
for him.
Wyvern, dude?
And he's on the run. Wyvern?
Like,
he's in the Bahamas, up in the top lane or something. I don't know. Not there.
If he were like level 5, I'd be like, okay. If he's level 5, like, okay, whatever, like, you need level 6, but, like, I mean, I'm like, one spell could turn around that fight so much. Like, Winter's Curse, and then an open wounds on him, and then he heals up, or, like, Cold Embrace during the rage, so that he's pretty much immune at that point. Like, all these things are big deals. And they could get, like, a huge kill on Gyro at that point, and he's going for a solo kill.
Go, Ja, go! You can do it! Are you going to use the Winter's Curse? No. Just Arctic Burn will be stolen.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, cool. You almost got a solo kill on a Rubik instead of helping your team on bottom and helping your Lifestealer who's going to carry you in the late game but can't if he constantly dies. But one thing they have going for them is that they have 2 Midases about to happen. I guess Phoenix is about to get his. Okay, there we go, 2 Midas. So they have some semblance of late game left, but you're trying to go late game versus Alina.
A mech, now Skywrath.
A mech, Skywrath, and a Gyrocopter. Like, these are way better than a super broke Shadow Fiend as well as like a Lifestealer.
And they don't have to wait for those minuses to really pay off. They just can go and take fights now that they got this mech ready to go.
Trying to make some plays?
A big TP play there, Merlini. Makes it out from the bottom, but yeah.
He could solo kill Phoenix really easily, I think, if he connects on like a third of his ult.
Fortunately, though, Schwan not there, not solo. Aoi is going to be able to make it away from the bottom. Still waiting for the mech recipe. Here it comes now. Now they've got it. Is it time to play? All 3 tier 1s have already been taken down from the side of TC on DC. That's not going to make things easy. But look at this. A smoke now, though, from Root and an infested bird.
Okay, so who are they going for? Lena? Oh, the counter smoke. Uh-oh.
Oh, they're going to go on. It's a head-on collection here.
Nice.
Here we go. Who's going to be first? It's Yawar. Could get a quick reacting Yules, but they're not close enough to pop. No! Hi! Derp is going to be seen from the high ground. It's better position for DC. A whiffed Mystic Flare, though. Sidestep, jump in. Waga's going to pop at the Infest. Targets Yawar, and they get him down with the help of the Winter's Curse. Now they charge up into the high ground for the secret shop area. Bulba shows up. Hook shot in. Is going to lock down Monkeys Forever into a perfect call down coming out from TC. Makes for the easy kill, but now the egg. The egg is going to start burning away here, and with the pop right now, it's not going to be connecting too much onto DC, but it will zone them back. It turns into a 2-for-1 trade, a profitable one for Digital Chaos. They had a bigger Roche lineup. I'd say they could follow it up with that, but they'll just have to take their winnings as they are and head back to the lane.
Biru was trying to pull a FY there and steal the egg.
Didn't happen, though.
Again, Boba with the great plays. Like, his hook shot, timing, and target, and everything was just really good at that point. Like, they're trying... Like, his team's isolated down the hill. Like, they can't really help him. They're isolated by the cogs. And he also gets it on a really important target. Like, he kills a Shadow Fiend over and over and over again. There's a reason why it's his best hero. Here they
Looks
go.
like they are going to move in for the Roche here. Got Yawar with a sweet little DD.
That is the rune.
That is the magic blueberry rune, which seems to make Roches and games that much easier. But Root Gaming probably have the wherewithal that this is happening, but no, they can't do much about it, especially after expending so much in that last fight and still not even coming out on top. They're just going to have to step back and continue to farm and get ready to possibly play the high ground game here in the near future. But there are still tier 2s for DC to break through. I don't think they're going to want to wait too long to do it.
Yeah, they used 3 ultimates to kill someone in that fight. They used Infest. Oh, actually, they didn't use Egg.
Jump mid lane. Bulba gets a nice catch on the Monkeys Forever here. Pops the Blade Mail. Skywrath Mage able to get off a nice Mystic Flare, but Monkey's still alive. Pops his mech, and, well, he will end up going down. They try to heal him out with the help of the Magic Beam there from Phoenix, but it's not going to be enough. They lose Monkey Shadow Fiend, and this just seems to get harder and harder for Root Gaming, Merlini. A lot on the Wog at this point as he continues to farm out this top lane. Looks like he's going for the identical build-up to what he had with the Bloodseeker here. An SNY is coming up next.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Can he do that much? I'm still skeptical.
In a team fight, I don't know. You're trying to muscle your way through cogs. It's going to be tricky. You have to get the most out of your rage timing, I'd imagine.
Couldn't they just get like a medallion or sorry, a solar crest and just own him? They could get a Force Staff and just own him. Like,
yeah.
Glimmer Cape would also own him. Like, there's so many things that I feel like he just can't deal with.
You have 3 different 4-staff candidates on the side of DC technically, but it does look like Bulba is going to be the one to get it first. He already has the staff held, but you're right. I mean, one of those common weaknesses to someone like a Lifestealer is how easy you can kite him around. He gets in there, and you just kind of try your best to disperse and wait for the rage to come down and then turn your back right onto him. And he doesn't offer as much as someone like this farmed-up Gyrocopter, being able to spread all that damage from a good distance away, even across the whole team.
One of the threats of a Lifestealer is that support shouldn't be able to solo farm out. Like, he can kill you before you can TP, which is... He's supposed to have that breakpoint a while ago, but Skywrath already has mech, so that means that he can't solo kill Skywrath, and Rubik's not really scared at all. And on top of that, he has a lot of armor from Medallion, so he's imposing no presence on the map with his farm, which is completely different than, let's say, like Gyro or Lina, who have been involved in killing people.
Jump from Bulba again on the Monkeys Forever with the Mystic Flare follow-up. This is turning into a nightmare real quick for Monkeys, and it's going to make for an easy pick. Just nowhere feels safe at this point. Even when they have a lot of wards down, Glimmer. It's just not enough. They need to get their own sentries, a gem or something, and just try to find a safe place to...
Glimmer Cape, dude. Glimmer Cape plus Cold Embrace. It's an easy save for Shadow Fiend, and even if he's stun locked, it doesn't matter.
Well, that means John needs to make sure he's there behind your Shadow Fiend or whoever it may be who could be in trouble. Can't help but question that these supports don't seem to be there at the appropriate time.
Yeah, they were there for game number 2, and that's why I think they had such a successful early game that transitioned into an amazing mid game. But this game is just like, okay, well, we're going to let Shadow Fiend die a ton of times, and we're going to sacrifice Shaker to the off lane and still let Phoenix have a terrible time. Like, they really didn't do that much in the early game. The only thing that they did that was positive, I think, was stack for Monkeys. But other than that, and attempt for some kills on Clockwork, which I actually think was more Waga's inability to connect rather than Jaws. So it was, it's just slight misfiring on a lot of angles.
Here comes Digital Chaos now in the bottom as they're going to look to bring down this tier 2. It doesn't look like Root are going to really have much to stop it here. They're going to add a bit of their own pressure, hoping to get some damage on this
TC, don't go up there.
Lane.
This is the mistake they made from game 1. It's like, okay, he has the Aegis, just let him take the tower by himself. No need to get greedy and, send your little rockets at the tower. Just let Yawar do it, and then you guys will be much better off.
Could always be that surprise egg drop with the Lifestealer coming out from the wings.
That is true. So, I mean, if Biru's a player, though, he can lift him before that, and they can kill him. But
if he's a player.
That's what I'm looking for, Biru.
The trial continues here. But
or Yuar could also Yules him too. That's also a play. But the problem with that is he can still get his egg off. So it's more the lift that I'm looking for. Or I guess a Skywrath silence, but...
Uh-oh. Top lane might be in trouble. Bulba's en route. We've seen this story once before. This time he does have John nearby, though.
Once before.
There it is. Once more in. This time Ja could be there to help him out. Gets the Winter's Curse on the TC to try to slow him down. And has no more mana for the Cold Embrace, but he has a Soul Ring, uses it, tries a TP, but that ain't happening. So they end up both going down.
Yeah, he needed the help like the first 3 times, not the 4th time, where he just...
Plus this time TC was there. There's certainly going to be no way to stop both of them. Oh,
I mean, it's still not even a counterplay because, like, even if you're sitting behind him, you can't actually kill anyone.
Uh-oh, Howie trying to be a playmaker here. Bop, boop, bing. Oh, not getting close enough. Oh, comes right back into it. There you go. It's like a boomerang. Shot out with the silence, and because he was silenced, he couldn't stop the dive. He knows he's coming right back into trouble, and there's a Mystic Flare there waiting for him. Very nicely played from Howie.
Howie has really shown that he's the best support player in this game by a large margin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's been consistent in all 3 games. He's found a lot of farm, and maybe game number 2 he has some, like... I wouldn't really say it's his fault. He still played pretty well, but games 1 and 3, I think especially he's been playing like extremely well, getting a lot of kills, warding in really deep spots, getting his farm up, getting like I don't know. He's just really doing it all. It's like when you play with Dota, you're like sometimes you play with those players that are like, man, this guy's always at the right place at the right time. That's what Aoi is to DC right now. He's just always doing the right thing.
With little Biru on your team, I'm sure he'll hopefully be able to pick up a few things, a few tips and tricks there from Maui, who's been around the support block for quite a while. I mean, hell, even Bulba did play support for quite a while at his TI4 run on Liquid.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, like, Skywrath is viewed as a fairly weak hero this patch because of Glimmer. And he still is like playing incredibly well, and to the point where no one on route has BKBs or Glimmer Capes. That's how good of a job that he's done at this point. And 24 minutes is about the time where these items start coming out. On top of that, he has a blink. Like, what? Look at his items.
He just knows how to make that farm happen. I mean, we saw it at the start. How was he suddenly level 4?
Yeah,
I wager we look back and we see how well he works with. It goes both ways. I mean, as a support, you're making the pulls happen and you're helping adjust the creep equilibrium where it's closer or further from the tower, but that's also a bit on the carry player, the core player, to try to maintain that equilibrium. And if you have someone who could do it very well as a support, you're just like, I'll just double stack and I'll just take this whole wave for myself. And you're just getting sweet solo farm, and everyone really profits from it. And on the other side, for Root Gaming, you're just looking at a measly little Phoenix who's easily getting zoned back from Biru, who even got a kill onto him. It's just going to be a huge, huge top lane for DC, and you're just seeing all the rewards from it right now. Aui's huge bit of farm, and the lack of farm on the side of Root. Juan, though, was able to get a Midas together eventually.
The
has
Basher.
a level 2 egg.
Let's see it.
And he Yules, and he's got a special delivery here, Merlini, and he wants to see if he can deliver it to anyone. Smoked on the way out, but they might cut up towards the Roche pit, which would be their closest
Boba
target.
has a 4-step at this point. Like, I don't even think they can kill Boba. Or anyone that Boba's close to because of the 4-step.
They're really fast here. Not fast enough to catch up with TC, maybe? Maybe, yes. Is TC going to farm the lane?
He has BKB. Like, he BKBs and runs away.
That doesn't stop them from doing it. They're thinking about going for it. There they go, boys. They jump in. They're trying to get the catch. He pops that BKB, pops that cooldown, and it's going to force out the Yules. And here comes Bulba, though. And now the turnaround play. A desperate egg pops out, but it should be cracked here from TC. Bulba, though, trying to man up on the monkeys forever here. The egg does not crack. It actually goes off. Now they jump back. They only lose Derp for now, but look at this. Owie in big trouble. Going to get taken down. Laguna will fly through. Does finish off the bird. Now look at Waga. Trying to man mode here on the TC, but it's going to be a 3 versus 1. Can't take it. The lift's going to be there. Yawar, in the meantime, able to finish off Monkeys Forever, and it ends up being a 4 for 1 trade in the end. Digital Chaos come out huge, and, well, Derp had been farming in the top lane, trying to get a Blink Dagger.
Nice egg steal by Biru. At this point, they're too farmed. Like, Aoi has a bajillion items. Gyro has his BKB, so he's pretty much invulnerable to the Lifestealer plus Phoenix gank unless they have, like, a Fissure or, like, a Winter's Curse to lock him down before the BKB, and like Clockwork has a 4-step. There's so few targets that they can kill, and it seems like they've been waiting for this moment. It's like, oh, okay, finally we can make stuff happen with the Lifestealer. They got like a couple kills early, but like, is that really all they can do to get kills in this game? Like that's a very one-dimensional strategy, and it's like it's nice once in a while and 4 to 3 kills, but now what do you do?
There's just no easy target. You're making a dive on that to someone with a BKB, and they have a tier 1 tower for people to TP on and just be there at a moment's notice, and that's exactly what's happened. BKB, rotations, and a huge fight for DC. And with their power advantage, they're just going to take this party to the mid lane, and they're going to be able to chunk down this tier 2 tower with really no effort. This just seems like meticulous Dota at this place. DC just kind of going down the checklist. All right, tier 2s are now going to be taken apart. We'll step back. Maybe we wait for the Roche. We get a new Aegis, and then we press into the high ground and try to end this game out.
Lena's farm is also redonkulous. Scepter and Bloodstone. Good luck dealing with that. I mean, now there goes Lifestealer. Like, okay, there goes half your HP while you're raged. And then good luck open wounding and life stealing off anything with the Force F. So, I don't know. Again, Boba with good hook shots, though. He hook shot onto the Shadow Fiend. He just constantly finds him again and again and again and again. And BKB is becoming super late. This is a Radiant Shadow Fiend, mind you, with stacks to work with in the early game. And no Bounty Hunter that's messing him up.
4th in net worth, yet to even break over that 10k net worth mark. But does have the BKB finally on hand.
There he goes.
Is it going to be enough to turn around these fights, though? Might be a little bit of too little too late.
I mean, it's a big deal because Gyro Cover doesn't have that much physical damage right now. He's only sitting just a little under 200. So at least he can survive. And then he has a mech for the armor, too. So like, I'd be pretty surprised if he died first last fight, especially with Cold Embrace.
I'm sure a factor of it has to be who Yawar decides to annihilate with the Laguna.
Yep.
Usually the target, might be Waga, but he does happen to get a catch on the Monkeys Forever. Could spend it there, and then Waga could be free to do some work. But
Ja has no items, though. He needs like a Blink and or a Glimmer Cape. Ideally both, but you're having to support life, so I don't really see how he's going to get any like clutch Winter's Curses unless they're like doing Roach or something and he can fly over, which could be right now.
Comes the smoke. They gotta make something happen here now. Oh, but the hook connection from Bulba's gonna stop him in the tracks. An egg and an egg, both gonna get dropped from both sides, and just chaos breaks out. And quickly, one by one, Root Gaining go down. Biru will be dropping in the end. Waga trying to man up, get Yawar, but he's eating so much rocket barrage damage that TC is gonna help finish him off. And Schwan is gonna be the final Root Gaming member, making it a full team wipe. DC get a 2 for 5 trade, and it looks like a follow-up Roche thereafter. And already pressure coming in the mid and top lane inside the Root base.
Good try. Pretty close to game at this point because that's just such a big fight to lose. They also lost a gem and they lost Roche, so like it's pretty much their peak. It's like we went for the YOLO smoke and it didn't happen, and now all we can do is pray that the other team messes up in a drastic manner that we can potentially come back from. I guess they have a blink now on Shaker, but again, Bulba with the hook shots, like just finding everyone. He doesn't hesitate too. He's just like, okay, I see a target, boom, he's important, I'm killing him. And like, it is just really difficult to play against a Clock who plays like that because it just you just feel so useless as an Earthshaker. Even with a blink tag, you're like, oh god, he might hit me with a rocket. Like if I'm not in the right position, I might even blink into a cog. Like there's so many things running through your head as an initiator that you can't get a good jump.
And Root Gaming, I'm sure what's running through their head now is how the hell are we going to stop this? Push coming their way right at the front door. TC with the Aegis, this should be the one to dance out in front. Yawar, though, could be caught out of position. Now we'll decide to step back. It looked like Root Gaming were about to engage there.
That's one way to clear creep waves, to use your Midases.
Yummy, extra bit of money. How are they looking, though? Buyback status. They have one on Waga and then the Phoenix. That's about it. Only Schwan and Waga are going to be able to come back with their second life. Ever since the BKB pickup here from Monkeys Forever, it's not been good on being able to
he got Laguna.
Yeah. Okay.
The big FU button.
It really is, though. Just a delete, and that hero is now back in the pit. DC, though, playing a bit more passive here. Don't want to get overzealous on any sort of the pushes. They have time. They just got the Aegis here, so they can afford to wait a bit. Aui's mech is now a Guardian Greaves. We already talked about the blink that he has. Biru has his own Force Staff now. And a medallion built up.
Oh man, Guardian Greaves is really good versus the open wounds too.
Yep, just shrug it right off.
Yeah.
Only on himself though.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good to have a lot of armor when you're low because, you know, as a lifestealer, you want to be able to kill people, and you generally do a lot of damage with their high HP because of Feast, but low HP is, like, really when you're actually, like, worried that you might not kill someone, and with Guardian Greaves, it's even more difficult. So, 15 boost armor, that's a lot of armor.
And they're going to slowly work each lane in forward. The bottom already up at the front. Mid lane should be there as suit. Waga did his best to try to keep this top lane pressure away. 2,300 gold. Obviously, we'll need to hold a bit of that for his buyback.
Stealer, man.
He is but one life stealer here. And it didn't seem to be the big surprising counter game that we were hoping for. Definitely a very funky team fight bit of synergy there between him and the Phoenix, but
I don't know. It was surprisingly bad, actually. I think I was actually surprised that they weren't able to kill the Clockwork.
We have you here to tell it like it is. That's good.
Were you surprised? I was surprised. I mean, wow, they didn't kill Clockwork.
I was surprised with the pick, of course, but I'm like, hey, maybe they know something we don't. And then, yeah, it felt like a featherless chicken. It's kind of flopping around with a little tick attached to it here. 2 minutes left on this Aegis. If DC do want to use it for a next formal push here, they're just kind of like sharks in water, circling around from all fronts, trying to keep pressure from top to bottom here, and making this as smooth of a transition as possible.
Theoretically, it should have been a good pick, though, because there's like really low armor heroes. Skye is notorious for having the low armor. Rubik has low armor. Lina has like fairly low armor. Like, these are heroes that he could just pick on, but there's no picking on anyone except for Boba and Shadow Fiend.
Well, where is going to be the trigger point here? I don't think Digital Chaos are just hoping to make a pickoff happen. I mean, Waga even quickly bursts out of rage, sees Bulba, and just hopes to God that maybe the hook shot won't be there. Though the hook shot will still connect. I guess just worried at any sort of follow-up.
Yep. But, I mean, at this point, like, if you wait for the game to go longer, Gyro's just going to get bigger and bigger. Like, and Lina's probably going to get, like, a refresher or a scythe at some point, too. Like, you can't outfarm that at some point. And I understand that they're like, okay, well, they need to mess up in the push. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for them to walk into an Echo Slam into Winter's Curse as at least 3, and then they can win the fight. Burn the Aegis, get a lot of experience, get those streak kills, and then come back in the game. Maybe get some items on Shadow Fiend and Lifesteal, get like an Abyssal and whatnot. Oh, what is he going for? Crystallis plus Chainmail?
Like a medieval war set. Just kind of got a little bit of everything here. I got a Claymore. It really is playing Diablo. I don't know if this is going to be enough, though. Still pretty flimsy, 1,800 life. Seems like a decent chunk, but when you're going against a Laguna and all this hefty burst.
I mean, look at this Gyro. He has 25 armor and Butterfly. Like, he has to have MKB if he has any chance of killing the Gyro. And that's if he doesn't get a Laguna'd. And he has an Aegis. Or he could just BKB and just simply run away.
You won't have an Aegis for much longer. It's got to be expired now. Oh, there it is. It's gone.
There it goes. Okay, maybe the goal is Gyro gets so strong that you Winter's Curse his teammate and he just 3-shots them.
Yeah, okay.
That's the dream. And Rubik doesn't steal
They finally find their opportunity. A pull back, though, is not going to be on the mark for the Mystic Flare, but there's Bulba again with that magical hook shot. But Monkeys Forever able to sidestep. They quickly throw out the Winter's Curse for TC. Waga realizes, I do not have an MKB. I can't hit this man. And he is just going to get chunked down very easily. Waga is out and on the sidelines. Because of that investment, he has no buyback, and he is out for good. And that is game. We had waited a bit for it, but it is over. Digital Chaos will best Root Gaming 2-1 in our first round of the Nanyang NA Qualifier.
He did 100 damage to Gyro. Does that count?
Nope, it does not.
I actually want to see his damage done at the end of the game. I'm looking right now.
All right.
Earthshaker, 1,800. Phoenix, 8,000. Lifestealer, 5,500. Winter Wyvern did more damage than him. Winter Wyvern did 6,000. Shadow Fiend did surprisingly low too, but he got picked on a lot. So that is a sad life.
Well, you know, we got to give credit to them. They put up a bit of effort. They pulled out something funky on a game 3 even, a Lifestealer Phoenix combo.
It was kind of
very
cool.
ambitious. I really would hope that from the start, you got to remember that bit of a misplay didn't get them the first blood. I hope that wasn't the trigger point to kind of spiral things out of control a bit. They go back to lane. I believe there was another missed fissure opportunity to even get a kill on Bulba in the bottom lane. And next thing you know, it goes down a slippery slope of an execution error here and there. And
Aoi getting ridiculous farm and zoning out people and killing people and just, you know, showing why he one TI.
Because of that, he gets a mech even before Monkeys is able to. They group up, and when
he makes the other supports like look really bad though. It's just like he's so good at that particular role.
He can find farm when necessary. I mean, hell, this guy did a jungling coddle for God's sakes and got like what Agnums in 14 minutes. He knows.